God, I just want to start with I love Werther's. I love them. They're so good. This camera's fucking weird, but I love them. They do. They're so good. They're so incredibly good. Just like, what is it? Is it caramel? Is taste real? You know? You gotta imagine it is, because a lot of people there's taste buds. You only have, what is it? What do you got? Five senses? Taste, touch, feel, hear, see, taste, touch, feel, hear, see. Yeah, it's five senses. On all five of those senses, you don't remember any of them. Like, they're all, if you are lucky enough in this world to be born to live, you experience all of them before you truly know what it is to live. Or do you know what to live? You know, you're born. Are we born with the ability to live? I don't know. Or do you got to find it? But it's crazy. I mean, I love Werther's. I love food. I love it. Unfortunately, my very first taste was probably peas or something weird, you know, when I was an infant. Much like many of you, your first touch is maybe you reached up and you touched the hand of a nurse or your parents. They remember, you know, your first time squeezing their finger. Your first thing you saw, you open up those eyes and you come into this thing we call Earth. Oh, it's over here. You hear, you don't have a clue what the hell you first heard or saw. I mean, Carrot Top from Chairman of the Board, he remembers. He came out, frickin' that baby came out full hair, ready to rock and roll, already inventing, but you know, majority of us, or all of us, we remember what we saw. We don't remember what we heard. We don't remember what we tasted, what we touched, what we saw, taste, touch, feel, hear, smell. Yeah, smell. I mean, probably smelled her mom's poo, you know, unless you're born in a test tube. But again, I mean, you literally get none of that. All you get in life is love. It's important that it's real. They gotta imagine some stuff in between, maybe, you know, your job, kiss, whatever, all superficial stuff, and then you get death. And again, if you're lucky enough when you die, you get you know, your last meal. That's what a lot of people before they put their dogs down, and death row and different things, hospice. People have their final meal, and they get to pick that. And you know, it's crazy. You go out and maybe you're with your loved ones. You say you got, you know, your people around you, holding your hands, and you go out remembering what it feels like to touch somebody and hear, you know, the sorrow and the joy of your life around you, and see the sight of your loved ones and in the world, and you know, and that's what you get. It's literally all we get in this thing called life. Like, it's so crazy. What is it? What honestly, what is it? It's a void. It's a void on this earth, and it's so crazy. You got to figure out what's real. Is there anything? Before I get too crazy, I've had the privilege over the past year to get to experience a few different things. This year's been freaking weird, man. Such an incredibly weird year. Year. I don't even. Life's weird, but I was introduced to some fun stuff. I took shrooms for my first time, 34 years on this earth. And before I get too weird in that, I was a weird human before shrooms. I feel like I'm good. It's stupid to say, but I feel like I'm good at drugs. So drugs to me is an altered state of being where it's not really, it doesn't have to be an altered state. It could be your current state of mind. And it unlocks things that you like. You know, it's a boost of serotonin. It's a boost of happiness. And if you find joy in the things around you, you have a great freaking time. And so for me, I had the privilege of watching many handfuls of friends and other people on this earth reach a level of sustained happiness, and just a measure of like, oh, this would be a cool. Oh, I blew up the world. I don't know. My bad on that. If it was supposed to blow up the Dave mind. A level of just vision and just tears of joy and red faces of happiness, and it's just been such a cool and exciting year. Got to summon some aliens. That was fun. Found VR, virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality. Super cool. I've got to put a lot more thoughts into what's real and what's not on this earth. And I've always, since I was probably about 19 in the old Windsor days, I realized that a lot of things in life aren't real. One of those things is cold. Cold's a feeling. It's a thought. It's a sensation. And none of those things are real. None of them. It's a body's response to a thought in your brain to feel cold. Obviously, there's levels of cold that exist. You know, frostbite is real. I'm not saying it's not. Burns are real. I'm not saying they're not. But your mind is so strong, and you could sustain so much farther than you believe. So it's been interesting to really grasp what other things are not real in this world, and I've got to do so in the VR. I've got to connect with a bunch of different people and spread out different things into this universe over the past year. It's been very interesting. Now it's just internalizing myself and figuring out what the hell Dave Fanny Pack wants to do. And I'm coming at you vulnerable right now. I'm not even wearing a fanny pack, believe it or not. Literally, there is no fanny pack on me. There's probably about 50 on the floor behind me, but there is none on me. I'm vulnerable with you guys right now. Hair's not floofed up. You know, the curls aren't prominent. The beard is, I don't know what the hell's going on with this. The beard's been stupid the past year anyway, wearing masks and stuff. And it's a crazy year. A crazy year of people telling us what's real. Like, right? It's crazy. The people telling us how to talk, how to think, how to feel, how to act. Everything. It's been such a crazy freaking year, and then it's up to you to figure out what's real and what's not real. You know, so it's just been it's been crazy, man. Let me tell you how. You all know, you all live it, and it's up to each and every one of us to figure out our joy and our happiness and our sensations, what they truly mean to us, not just how we think they make us feel, but what they truly mean. So it's an interesting world. I guess that's why we're here, to put a grasp on it and leave our indentation. Me personally, I've been losing my shit. I lost my shit at the beginning of COVID, like when it's like everything happened at once. We already were in a political divide, but then all of a sudden, like, That's it. Oh, yeah, and we had TikTok, and we had all these other news sources and everything. Again, telling the algorithms telling us every single thing about us. I mean, my TikTok was crazy. It was all police, like rioting and shit, looting, and girls in crop tops. Like that was it. I'm like, Jesus, TikTok is weird, man. All I see is like rioting and, I'm sorry, a movement and girls in crop tops. It was so crazy. I'm like, what is going on here? But again, man, that's an algorithm. Like it shows us what it thinks we want to see. And that's what's crazy because none of us truly know what we want to see. It's in here. It's not in here, and that's where we're all mistaken. That's where we can all go awry because our minds tell us what's important, and we listen to that and not our hearts. Our minds are here to literally trick us. It's here to put you down weird paths, and it's here to put you down weird thought processes and feelings and tell you things that aren't real. Crazy. It's such a crazy world. Again, yeah, go into the drug factor. For me, the shrooms, it was so fun just being able to watch different interactions and people relearn their thought processes and what's real and what's not. So many people they're like, I don't want to take that. I had a bad experience. Oh, really? You had shit crawling all over you. You saw the devil. You saw shit moving, and you couldn't make just with your mind. Like your mind's crazy, and especially when you're young, and it's playing jokes on you, and you have no clue what those jokes mean. You have no clue. I mean, if you stare at my finger long enough, you'll start noticing things like whether you're on drugs or not. You could literally make my finger dance if you want to. You could make it leave your friends behind. I don't know music that well, but you can dance if you want to. You can leave your friends behind. I don't know, but literally, you could look at any single thing, and you can make your mind turn into whatever you want. That's what makes kids so interesting. If I hold my finger here, the thumb first, thumb up long enough, I could either I could draw you. And again, you probably can't see this because my cameras are weird, but I could draw you a smiley face. Or if you envisioned a smiley face on my hand, you could eventually see a smiley face on my hand. You could turn into a turkey. God, I don't even know how you make the turkeys anymore. But you could do anything you want with your mind. That's what's cool about it. So I'm going to take all these stuff, and you don't. And again, there's no condoning any drug use. That's what I found through this past year, and I've already known this. There's a state again that's in your mind where drugs open different things in there, but it's our job on this earth to open whatever we want in our own minds and see whatever we want. So that's what's interesting. That's what makes this fucking world so crazy and so cool. We could see and do whatever the hell we want. We could be who we want to be. We could become who we want to become. We could live how we want to live. You could poop in whatever bathroom you want nowadays. Kind of crazy, but I'm having a kid, and I keep telling the wife it's going to be the best time ever. If they have to take a shit and they're like, man, I gotta go, they can pick whatever bath. Again, whatever. But for real, it's a crazy freaking world. Again, it's I don't know. It's a year of changing the way that we think, we perceive things, we do business. It's been just a crazy year. Influence is through the roof, and we have no clue. So, growing up, I had Jonathan Taylor Thomas. I had the Olsen twins, they got a little crazy pretty fast. We had all these people, they got out of control because they were being controlled. They had publicists, they had all this stuff, but unless it was on TMZ, we saw what they wanted us to see, what people wanted us to see. And now, oh man, no, it's crazy. We can put anything we want out there, and there's no justification or rhyme or reason on who sees it and who's influenced and how they're influenced. Like every single thing on this earth now is just influenced by somebody else, and I have a hard time with this. I was like, oh man, there's no communication anymore. There's no nothing. This goes back to the beginning of COVID. There's no nothing. There's no engagement. It's only political. It's only a division. It's negativity. It's whatever the perception is. And there was nothing fun. There was nothing, hey, what are we going to do better? How are we going to come outside of this on top? How are we going to better ourselves? How are we going to enrich ourselves? How are we going to kick COVID in the ass and get out there and frickin' conquer? Or when this is all over, there wasn't that. It was just a division. So I was like, man, I'm going to jump on here, and because this in here is where everybody's at, like I'm going to jump on duty and I'm going to do some cool shit. And basically I'm going to get in and I'm going to talk to the people who I'm playing with and be like, hey, who are you? Who were you before COVID, and who do you want to become after COVID, and who are you today? And how can we put all three of these yous together and become better? What do we want to do? Well, there was none of that. Holy shit, you get on duty and nobody wants to talk about that. You could have a smiley face on your thumb all you want. Nobody sees that. They only see the frickin' where the helicopter's dropping or where the plane's dropping us. Where are we going, guys? Shh, I hear footsteps. Like it's crazy. So then you get into this, and you're communicating with people, but you have no clue who's in here. So that's what makes it crazy. I learned this is I got into VR after, because I'm like, man, I need the social dynamic. Getting into the VR was probably one of the coolest things I've ever done. It's opened up my eyes and opened up so much of the rest of the world, but it was crazy. Like, I'm sitting here and I'm playing Poker Stars VR. It's amazing. It's so much fun. And I'm sitting and I'm playing this, and I'm communicating. I'm breaking down barriers. I'm, finding these people who I'm sitting at the tables with. I think there's like 8 people. I don't know, however many people go to a poker table. I never sat and counted, but I'm sitting around, I think like 8 people, whatever. And it's great. And like, you could communicate with people, and you're playing poker, and it's a blast. And then there's kids in there, which it's cool. I don't have kids, so I don't fully understand the separation. But you got like 11-year-olds, and they're talking about smoking crack and saying extremely inappropriate things and just being crazy. And I was a kid, I was a kid. I'm still a kid. And you're whoever you want to be in whatever time frame you want to be. So like, I'm still there. But I'm sitting here and I'm listening to this, and I'm just like, I am not your father. I'm not your mother. Now you could be whoever, and I am not your psychologist. So how do you communicate with this? Like, so I'm breaking down barriers of adults, and I'm trying to figure out how they see the world, and like, it's fun, and it's you're being vulnerable, and you're communicating like life should be. And then you have these kids in here, and holy shit, like, how I remember 14-year-old me, I remember 19-year-old me, I remember 20-year-old me, I remember 30-year-old me, I remember, I don't remember 9-year-old me very much, to be honest. I do street hockey and stuff, man. I was out playing with my friends and eating ice cream from ice cream trucks and just running the streets and having a blast, kick the can, flashlight tag, pool parties, going over and jumping fences, and I was never good at football, but I really tried to play at 501. I always tried to catch it, but I never really caught it. I was good at the bomb one when it would make like a dog pile. I was kind of good at that because it made it easier to get it. Just got to be really squirrely. But yeah, man, I sit here and it's just like, how do you communicate with this? How do you show them that they could be better than who they are, and the things that they're saying right now and thinking aren't real? So then, I'm already having this, and mind you, I'm always shrooming when I'm on that too. I was for a while there, and it's fun. It's very interesting. Drugs could be interesting. They're not real. Again, I say it was shrooming, but they're not real. They only put you in a thought of your mind that's not real. Nothing's real. Art, that's it. But so I'm sitting here and I'm doing like a weight loss challenge thing too, right? I'm playing Beat Saber other days, and I'm doing this thing where I get in and here, this guy. So, see, I haven't done it. Wow, it's been 11:30. That's not real. It's probably 1:30. No, fuck. That's not real. My dates are off. I started at 1:30. And last time was, 1:21. Okay. So, that's right. Like, I'm inside this, and I'm sitting here, and I'm taking my shirt off, and I'm playing Beat Saber and everything, too. And, I'm just going to town shirtless or wearing a crop top, just having a blast. And I'm not thinking about it at all. I'm not thinking about this, about who could be watching. And again, whatever. Like, they're all kind of weird stages of life. But so then I got this guy in my chat, right? And I'm playing poker, and he'd say, "Oh, dude, invite me into this. Invite me in. And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, dude, that's awesome, man. Let me invite you." And he's telling me how I could do shit on my watch and the VR, and I could just pull this stuff out. I'm like, "Dude, that's so cool, man. I really appreciate it." I'm like, "So what do you do? What do you do for a living?" And his response was, "I'm in 8th grade. And where's my bomb? Where's my bomb?" Oh, a little delayed. Freaking Earth is exploding. The world is just going. And I'm just like, what the fuck, man? Like, seriously? What is going on here? And then, then I'm just sitting here, and my thoughts are, could you just imagine if a father, again, I'm not with kids, parents and stuff, and I'm not their psychologist, and I'm just like, can you imagine if, like, dad walked in and you got this guy sitting here shirtless talking about eating shrooms, and the kids, the 8th graders, just sitting here watching this, and I'm just like, dude, it fucked my head up so bad, because again, like I said, there's no separation anymore at all, and there never has been, but it's more than ever, and I'm just so lost. And then so the streaming thing, man, it's an interesting freaking world. You have no clue who's grasping what you're putting out there, or even if what you're putting out there makes any sense at all. Like, I got no clue. These are just my thoughts. It's just me. I'm Dave, Fanny Pack. I'm not even Fanny Pack Dave. I don't even have a freaking fanny pack on right now. I'm not even real. What is this? What is real? So it's like going through all this crazy shit, and then this VR, man. So you get away from the streaming world, and then you just get into the virtual world. Like, I've had some really crazy experiences. I went to a Pitbull concert on 8 grams of shrooms after being out and summoning aliens. So that was really interesting. So crazy. But I traced out my buddy's house. So he had like 1,500 square foot house, his lower level. Oh, it's bigger than that, but his lower level is probably about 1,500. I took my my barrier, my guardian, and I drew it around his whole house. I put he had an island and some chairs and couches, so I made sure those were within the boundary area or inside a boundary. So I was able to free walk around a Pitbull concert, and let me tell you, it was the craziest thing ever. Like before this, I got to experience a lot of really interesting stuff. I took my own walk. There was 4 of us. Went out to viewed the lake for a while. Watched the lights reflecting off the water. There's a name for that. Don't know it, but it's beautiful. I got to look at that. I took my own walk. I looked at some Christmas lights. I looked at some broken down Christmas lights. A Santa that moved very slowly, and he kind of creaked, and it was sad. It was he was dying, but you know what? He's been out there forever. This guy enriched so many lives, and I got to watch him just. I stared at him for a while, and I'm thinking the neighbors are probably thinking I'm trying to case this house. And it's weird. I went and I got a picture with a polar bear on somebody else's lawn, and again, they probably thought I was like a crackhead, like gonna pass out in the manger with the polar bear or something. But it was fun, man. And then I went back to the house and I watched through the window. I just sat there and I watched through the window, and I watched 2 of my buddies play inside the VR. They're walking around, and it was crazy, just weird watching from the outside. And then I had another buddy sitting on the couch going like this. He was working on breathing techniques. He was big into yoga and meditation, and he was working on these breathing techniques, and it was so cool to just sit from the outside and watch what was going on inside the house. It was like The Sims. It was cool. It was fun. But then after I went back in that house, the guy who was sitting smelling his hands decided he'd tell us about how we could summon aliens. If we want to see them, we could go and communicate with them. What we do is need to raise our vibrations into theirs, and connect with nature and vibrate like the trees and earth, and we could summon them. It was freaking super duper amazing. I mean, God, we should talk about space with randoms, he says. Dude, that was just such a crazy time. Walked out, got the it was a blast. I could go into that another time, but it was so cool. It was but then I got back and went to Bruno or a Pitbull concert, walked around just this guy's house, high as shit, walking around. It looked like wormholes, like not even high as shit. I say high as shit, tripping balls. No, like Donnie Darko shit, where it's coming out of his chest and it's telling you where to go. So I had predetermined areas of where I could walk due to the guardian boundaries that I set up. So I had blue paths, and I could walk in these blue paths. And if I walked outside of this blue path, I come back to reality. But it's not this reality. It's a black and white reality. It's weird. It's still kind of a different type of reality, so it's crazy. But I'm in this concert, I'm losing my shit, and this is again, I'm in the virtual world. I'm in the VR. I've had my headset now for about 2-3 weeks at this point, and I had this guy. He looked like a Jesus. He was wearing a hoodie, and he had the skeleton thing, and he had blue eyes. He comes up to me and he goes, "Fanny pack, fanny pack, fanny pack. Come to me." I'm like, because I'm losing my shit. I'm like all over, and my mic's on. People can hear me. He's like, "Dude," he literally puts his hands around me, and he's like, "Dude, you're tripping balls." And he's like, "But come back. You're in a safe space." And that was my first true person-to-person social experience, where there was like a connection inside that VR. So like the VR, there's a crazy amount of connection with inside there. And since then, I go on pretty heavily into that world. There's a lot of scariness in there. There's orgies, I found out. It's kind of weird. But I've been able to connect with so many people mentally, and help out people. I tell my buddy Chris this. He makes fun of me. He's like, Dave, he goes, it's not real. And I'm like, look, dude, I get it. It's not real. But there's a level of social dynamic that is real inside there. And any one of us at any given point of our day could hop on a plane and head to LAX with your dream in your card again. But welcome to the land of fame and success. Am I gonna forget or fit in? But for real, any one of us could do that. We just have these barriers, and in these barriers it's called life. Not this world. Like, again, it's moving. Whether you're in it or not, the world's going to continue to move. So you have obligations, and not everybody has the ability. And we all have the same abilities in this earth. We just have barriers that, self-imposed barriers. We put ourselves there. There's different restrictions, but not in the VR. You could get inside your computer. You could get inside your mind. You could get outside of where you are. Whenever you want. There's a dynamic inside there that is unlike anything you can perceive. There's people. So any night of the week, you could head to Hawaii. You could head to freaking Alaska, Antarctica. You take Google Maps. You can go anywhere you want to go in this world. You can go outside of this world. You can go intergalactic travels. You hop in freaking SpaceX and travel around the world, through the world. You could freaking blow it up. You could do anything you want. That's what makes this world so interesting. It's crazy. I've had the privilege and opportunity to see growth in myself and others in there. It's very exciting. It's honestly, if you haven't been in there, I'll tell you, the other day, it was crazy, and I've told the story a few times now. But I did this thing called virtual desktop. It was cool. So I'm in this world, right? I'm here with you guys. And then I went into this world, right? So now I'm here. But then what did I do? I went into here. I went into my computer. I literally walked around my desktop, walked right up to my windows and clicked on them, and I went, boop. And they opened. And I was inside of this world, in that world, in this world. So don't know what dimension that was, but I was there. And it's so crazy, and you could be there too. We could all be there. I watched this movie the other day called Bliss. It was with Owen Wilson, I'm sorry. It's with Owen Wilson. And the movie was about going into a space inside your brain. And it was basically talking about how the world is simulation, and how they were reaching that simulation was taking these crystals, drugs. Like, literally, they had to take drugs to reach the state of bliss. The movie was called Bliss. They were going to a blissful place. They were just freaking junkies, just trying to reach that bliss. And it's so funny, and it's like we can all reach that naturally through ourselves by just believing in our own shit, what's real and what's not real, and just allowing our heart to lead us instead of our mind. Because again, your mind will play every trick on you in the world. That's why darkness exists. That's why suicide exists. That's why depression exists. That's why body dysmorphia exists. It's crazy, man. You change yourself so many times, and you're never coming back. And who have you become? You become the thought in your mind that you were supposed to be. Thoughts could be misconstrued. And yeah, it's crazy. Keep changing yourself. Find out where you're going to become. I was in VR, and I went in this place called The Room That Accepts Everybody. It was an alt space. Alt space is a beautiful place. If you've ever been in there, I hang out in there way more. Well, I don't go into a VR chat. I feel like VR chat is a dangerous place. That's where the orgies exist. I'll tell you about that. But VR or alt space is really amazing. I went in the social dynamic and the amount of growth and opportunities that are available with inside here are amazing, absolutely amazing. And but I go into this room, right? The room that accepts everyone. It was nice. It was very blissful, very tranquil, soft music, a mountain in the back, a nice fountain. You get your wings at the door, or your butterfly wings. I want to be a butterfly and eat butterflies and poop rainbows. Yeah, you get those at the door, and you can come in and you can fly around, and it's weird. There's a guy, right? He's like a leader. I don't know, the Sherpa, kind of directing how this chat's going to go. And I walk in there, and I'm in there for a little while, and I'm just listening to these whiny people. Whiny culture, nature mirror. What's it called? Cancel nature, whatever the hell it is. You're about to cancel nature me, or whatever you people call it nowadays. Cancel culture. If I'm going to get cancel cultured, it's for this, right? I walk in here and I didn't say shit because my mind couldn't even comprehend what was going on. My heart hurt. My mind could comprehend this. But if my mouth would open up and said what my mind was thinking, oh God, it would have been game over for Dave. I would have been kicked out out of all space forever. These people, man, it was breaking my heart on how they perceived the people around them in the world. The amount of judgment that they were putting onto this world was insane. It was unbearable. I had to leave. My heart could not take it. I lost my shit. There's a guy in there, and he told another guy how much he liked his wings because they symbolize the color of the trans and gay community, and how he wanted to pick those same wings, but he already saw this guy wearing them, and he said that he wore them better, and he didn't want to. And this guy's like, I just like the colors, and I'm just sitting here, and I'm just like, I can't do it. I wanted to sit in here. I wanted to stay, and I wanted to impact. I wanted to impact and listen to what was going on in these thought processes, but it freaking killed me. It broke me inside, and I'm a realtor, and I had this house in good old Harrison Township, my home, second home. I didn't grow up here, but it's a beautiful house. And I met this couple. They came to my open house. Great couple. 2 dudes and their kid. They were awesome. They loved the house. They were fun. They would have fit in great. And you know what their realtor told me? They said that they didn't feel that the community would accept their lifestyle. They didn't feel that the community would accept their lifestyle. I lost my shit on that agent. God, like people in this world, man, again, they chose their heart, right? So these 2 men chose their heart. They didn't choose their mind. Their mind was telling them that this is wrong. This is wrong. Their mind told them that because their mind is telling them that everybody is judging them. Why are they judging them? Because they feel that people believe that their lifestyle is wrong. But their heart connected these two gentlemen together and is raising a kid. Well, what thoughts are going in that freaking kid's mind if that's how these people are going to perceive the people around them? It's a thought. If somebody is staring at you, if somebody is looking at you, and you're thinking, oh, they're judging me. No, it's because you got a beautiful freaking beard, great chin, cool cheek structure, great hair, nice glasses, good earrings, your stature, or something about you is intriguing to them. Not your lifestyle, not who you're holding hands with. Like this world is so incredibly messed up, and that when I was in that VR, dude, it broke me, and then it broke me to my core. And I sit here and I went on this rant about it, like, dude. So again, you could do anything you want in this world. For a point of me, I said, hey, I want to go and be a bodybuilder. So I did. Right? So I did. I went out. I was like, fuck, I can do that. Do whatever you say to your heart to. Look at that butt fat. Should have brought that in. You'll notice I never flexed my legs. I didn't know how. I just knew how to flex the upper body. Like I said, you can do anything you want. I turned black for this. Like, it's crazy. It was cool, man. I was so dark. I looked so cool. It was fun. But hot in the plane at LAX. Oh, my tummy was getting nervous, and I was feeling kind of homesick. Too much pressure, and I'm nervous. Till the taxi man turns on the radio, and the Britney song was on. And so I put my hands up to play my song. Butterflies fly away. Nodding my head like, yeah. Moving my hips like, yeah. So I put my hands up. You're playing my song, I know it's gonna be okay. Yeah, it's a part of the USA. Yeah, it's a part of the USA. Alright, and now I'm just gonna hop off that stage. Oh. Whoa. The freaking world was blown up. But again, that's the world we live in. You could do and you could be whatever you want. But now, so you can't, though. You can't. But if you have a sensation or a thought of being wronged, we live in this culture where we could say, you, sir, or ma'am, are impeding on my right as a human being to do what, with, and however I feel with my body at this given place of my mind. But how come that guy right there? How come he couldn't be like, you know what? I want to take my body to a higher level of discipline. I want to extend my livelihood in a sport that generally has an expiration date on it. I want to feel and feed for my family. I want to extend. I want to be better. I want to be bigger. I want to be faster, stronger, and I have the discipline to take me there, but I can't do it naturally, or I want to extend that ability. No, you can't do that. You can't do that at all. You've been following these set goals that you've put on yourself for these freaking people in the sports. My God, they've lived, breathed it their whole lives. But you could sit here and you could say, hey, I was born wrong. I'm not who I'm supposed to be. I'm not me. I need to change. I'm not the female I'm supposed to be. I'm a man. I'm a man. What is this down here? What is this? I don't like it. Don't like it. It's supposed to be a line. Not a thing like this. It's a line. Help. Oh yeah. I got you. And again, I don't know everything that goes into it. I'm sure there's mental. I'd imagine there'd be mental stability tests to take you there because it's a surgery that is supposed to be irreversible. Um, but yeah, you can go and do that. You can go and do that. So I was just lost. My brain was just fried. I couldn't handle it. God. I can't. This world again, man. Holy shit! I'm all for following your heart, but make it be your heart, not your brain. Your brain is meant to play tricks on you every chance it gets. Again, you could turn this guy. Oh, he went away. You know why he went away? Because it wasn't real. It was ink. You got to put the ink to the paper. It's only real, and then the stamp. That's what's real. That's not real. This is real. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm just over here trying to figure out. I'm just over here trying to figure out a thing called life, right? Like, I just want to figure out my impact on people. That's all I seek is an impact. Tired of going at it alone. I'm a realtor, like I said, and it's a lonely world. Like, it's cool. You sell your house, put you in a house. Sometimes it's prison. Other times it's your palace. And the size and location don't have anything to do with either one of them. It's just the mindset of you where you put your head at night. It's either it could become your prison or it could become your palace. There's nothing about the price that you spend. There's nothing's real. It's only what's real in your heart. If you're living the life your heart is telling you to live, and the savior, and like I'm not good with all the religion. I love the religion, but I'm not good with it. I believe, but if you're living that life that you are meant to live, then whatever. I love it, and I would help you. But me, I feel that there's better ways for me to impact the world than working one person at a time, putting them in either their palace or their prison. It's not always the most fun. It's interesting. What I found that I love is this stupid, and is that freaking VR, AR, XR world. It is crazy the amount of stuff you can do. So I went on this training yesterday, and I found out there's a website called Echo AR, ECHOAR. It's actually free to use to a certain extent, depending on your capabilities and how much you use it. You could go up from there, and even at the next stage, it's not even expensive, $19 a month. But there's no coding to be done. It's if you think it could be created, and there's already creations in there, and you can just utilize them, and they already show you how to put them into play. So you can make a QR you. Like, you could change your resume. You could change anything you want to pop out at people and be visual. Super interesting. And that's XR. Or well, actually, it's a mix. And again, it's a mix. It's a mix. It's augmented reality and it's mixed reality, and it's a little bit of virtual reality depending on how you use it. So it's amazing if you want to get creative and you want to have your resume pop out, literally pop out, instead of putting. It doesn't have to be a resume. It could be done with anything. It could be if you're marketing, you're selling a house, or selling yourself. Like, selling yourself would be freaking cool. All of a sudden they scan a barcode and here you are butt naked standing in their phone. Like they're like, oh shit, let me hide the phone. Well, if they turn the phone, you're gone. You're not even there because you were right there. So they'd have to turn the phone back. And what the fuck? You're there again. What is this shit? Like, it's crazy. That would be a cool way to sell a naked body. But that just goes into trafficking. I'm not about that. We're gonna leave that up to Wayfair. Just kidding. Too soon. I don't know. But now I don't even know if that was real. Whatever. But now there's so many just applications that you could use it on. In the social dynamic, holy shit! You ever see the movie with Robin Williams? Rest in peace. Again, that just shows you something about the brain is the most powerful thing you possess if you allow it. It will be here to trick you at every point of your life. Make you feel, think, or sensations. None of it's real. But again, it was called Cut Frame, the Cutter. He basically, when people are born, they're implanted with a chip, and this chip records all of their visions throughout life. And Robin Williams' job is he dissects this chip and finds interesting points and highlights of people's lives and puts them for their funeral so everybody could see. And he goes through their whole lives. He sees the dark, he sees the good, he sees the amazing, the beautiful. Well, he sees it all. A lot of times he sees what people didn't even see when they were there, especially nowadays. Nowadays we see this. That's what we see. Oh, there's something cool going on. Let me look through here to see it. It's that's what we see. It's crazy. But then that VR world, it's I don't know, man. I'm crazy. Nay, I should just stop. But that's all I'm trying to just find my way through this thing we call life and find my imprint on the world before it goes kaboom, right? Like that's literally all we're here for. And it's not the world that goes kaboom. It's us. We gone. It's crazy. But let's get rid of that. Life just starts with an idea, right? Anything you do starts with an idea. And then you know what has to be done with that idea? You got to put it out into the world. If it's stuck in your brain, it's not going to go nowhere. It just goes pa-poof. Pa-poof. Like, you got to put shit out. What's this bomb? Boom. I don't know. You got to just put stuff out into the world and hope it takes grasp and take chances and live a little. And God, look at this fucking beard. This hair's not poofed out very nice. It's just kind of whatever. But yeah, this is the world we live in. I will leave you all with an assignment. This is an assignment I found a few weeks ago. Again, how I mentioned that nothing is real, a sensation. A sensation is only a thought that was brought on by your mind, and it's telling your body how to feel. None of those three things are real. Thought, feel, sensation. None of them are real. They're all fake. One of the coolest ways to figure this out is next time you take a shower, right? Like, what do you do when you take a shower? You put your hand in, turn the water hot, put your hand in, pull it out. You're like, that's a little too hot. Maybe you turn it down. Maybe you don't. Or you put your hand in again. Or a lot of times, you probably turn it down, put your hand in and realize it's not that hot, so you turn it up again. All that's happening is you're desensitizing your body to
something that's not real, which is called heat. Again, there's a level of heat that is real. Obviously there's a level of heat that will burn you. Boiling water boils, but it's up to your own body to understand what your level is. There's people that could stick their hands in boiling water and it doesn't even feel them. Your skin, I don't know. Your skin's crazy. Who knows? I'm not a bioscientist or bioengineer or any of that. I don't know what your skin could truly take. But again, put your hand in that hot water. Pull it out. Now, eventually, you get in to that water. And what happens? Maybe you turned it up hotter and higher than it was when you first put your hand in and it was too freaking hot and you pulled it out. So you pull it out and you're in this. Your turn. Sorry, my phone. I'm ADD and my phone started ringing. I'm going to end this and call my dad back here in a second. I know there's nothing pressing because they were texting me about a person. So he's not being mugged by this person. Right? I'd hope not. He could have been like, hey, you're Dave's friend. No, I'm not. But no. So what happens? You eventually get into that water. You're in that water. And then what do? You turn it freaking hotter. Now what happens? Areas of your body that are not being touched by that hot water, what's happening to them? They have a sensation of feeling cold. If all the water is hitting you, if you're standing like this, you'll notice your back starts getting cold. Why is your back getting cold? Because it's a different sensation than the front of your body. But is your back really cold? The answer is no, it's not cold. If you take that thought out of your mind, neither that hot or cold exists. This is why people could live in Florida and not sweat, not go out and sweat and die, and then you go and visit and you're like, oh my God, this is the hottest thing in the world. No, it's because their body has adapted to a different level of heat. It's all about adapting. And the quicker you can learn to adapt and tell yourself that this thought that is in your mind is not real, you can overcome just about any problem you think you're having, any kind of judgment, any kind of troubles. The majority of the things that we think are real are not real. They're not. They're not. This is just Dave's thoughts. I'm going to go. I'm going to call my dad back now. Leave you guys with that homework assignment. Try to learn how to overcome your sensations and thoughts and feelings and bring them into a world of existence with you. Yeah, no, I'm not. God, just open the chat. Come bring your body. Oh my God. These people. All right. Oh God. All right. I'm signing. But I do need a hug. I'm a freaking lost human, man. Holy shit. I just need people. I want to connect the world. That's all I'm here for. I don't want to go alone anymore. Don't want to do real estate. It's alone. I just want to show people that the farther you get outside of your box, the more you could overcome. And just when you overcome things, you can reach a different level of life. Because if you're trapped inside of your box, it's exactly that. You're trapped. And what does this year do to us? This year literally put us all in a box. Not even metaphorically. Like a real box. And like there's some people that are like, no, I've been out living this whole time. Well, that's awesome. Good for you. I hope you impacted the people around you. But what about the people that are trapped in that box? Like, I hope you impacted them and pulled them outside of that box. Like, What do you do? What does one do when they're so outside the box and everybody else is inside of it? This is like this is the world we live in. You follow God. That's it. Great answer, Wizard Bear. I don't know if where the how long ago that answer was there, but yeah, that is the answer. If you're so far outside the box and you can't figure your way back in or reach those that are trapped inside the box, you have nobody else to look to but God. Great answer. Great answer. You just. Oh man, that's a good answer, dude. That's cool. All right. Well, this has been a Fanny Pack Dave adventure. I appreciate you all for coming, and I'm gonna go call my dad back. But again, see you later, guys. Peace.